Case in the Sunshine Band and Give It Up. It's BBC Radio Leicester. Now, picture the scene. You're off on holiday. You got your out of office on. Click. Well, maybe you shouldn't. There's a new email scam is being targeted at businesses in Leicestershire aimed at stealing thousands of pounds. I mean, I guess that they're doing this kind of thing all over the country. In fact, in a chilling development, hackers have been accessing bosses' email accounts and waiting for them to go on trips before striking. Andy Viner, Operation Director at Intellect IT Support in Hinckley, has come into the studio. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
We've been talking about this off air. This is, I hesitate to say it because it's clever. It's nasty.
Yeah.
What do they do?
It is. So I think the main problem is that there is so much volume of email that is sent now on a daily basis. There's something like, globally, I think there's 280 billion messages sent every day. So there's a lot of noise, and an average office worker might get 120 emails a day on average. So to start to filter out the ones that look suspicious becomes a lot harder. So the hackers, and again it all sounds very Hollywood, the hackers use relevancy. So if a boss is away and there's not the right level of security in place, and that email account has been compromised, they know that person is away, at which point they target their accounts department, the admin people, and send what look to be very genuine messages asking for funds to be transferred.
And they do it in such a way that it's sort of all a bit of a, oh, I'm on holiday, I've just forgot to do this, can you quickly ping this?
Yeah. So they generate urgency, and if your boss generates some urgency for you to do a task, you take it and you do it and you run with it, and then unfortunately you might find out that it's not legitimate, and that's where people have been losing thousands and thousands of pounds.
Because once it's gone, it's gone. Because I suppose my reaction is, okay, well you'll be covered by the bank or whatever, but that's not the case with this scam.
It can depend. So there are insurance policies now that companies can buy on top of their kind of standard business insurance, cybersecurity policies, and if the circumstances are right, those insurance policies can pay out on the money that you might have lost. That said, I think it's generally seen that a bank account, if it's been hacked, then they can claw the money back. But if a member of your staff has gone into your online bank account and transferred the money, they've typed it in, they've hit the submit button, it's kind of gone. So then you've got a lot of work to try and claw that money back. And these are professional people this is happening to, leaders of industry and masters of their business. Yeah, you just it's a scary place.
Because of course that boss doesn't know anything about it till they get back and they go, whoever it is, the accounts director says, oh, I pinged that stuff, hope that was okay, and they go, what?
Yeah, and unfortunately, so there's a general feeling at the moment, businesses are busy, new sales and businesses hard to come by. It depends what processes you've got in place to check whether or not, if your boss sends you an email, it's extra time to ask him whether or not it's legitimate. So you do it.
But look, and it's quite clever as well, isn't it? Because it's probably quite unusual for a boss to, whilst... I mean, I know that boss is forever emailing on holiday. I know, but it's probably unusual, isn't it? So therefore, you probably don't have a process in place,
correct,
to cover yourself for it.
Yeah. So and again, this is where understanding your normal mode of operation within your business is really, really important, because then if something different happens, it stands out, and that's where it should be questioned. And that's where there should be some process to say, the boss has asked me to transfer.
It's interesting, it's almost difficult to do that, isn't it? So if the email account's been hacked, so they email back and say, Bob, did you mean to do this?
Yeah.
And presumably the scammer on the end says, oh yeah, it's cool, fine, just ping it across, but it's a bit of an urgency, so crack on.
Yeah. And it preys on people's fears. And I'll say relevancy is one. So we ourselves, last year, we had our fire extinguishers checked by our normal company. The following week, they got compromised and we received an invoice. And the invoice was for that piece of work. And it was a malicious piece of code, a malicious attachment. But the relevancy was we'd had the work carried out. We were expecting an invoice, at which point, we open it in the office and...
Is that why
scary.
You see things? But I had this happen last Christmas and actually the Christmas before, and I guess lots of people, and this is not about business, but it is this question of relevancy, which I've never come across before, that you'll suddenly get those emails saying, oh, the things here, we just need you to check the invoice and
Yeah.
you think, oh, I've ordered so many things
Yes.
for Christmas. Right, well, I better click on that and see what it is. And of course, that's when it launches the malware, and that's when you're in trouble.
That's it. There's certainly
and
seasonality to
I've
it.
nearly done it a million times, but I'm super.
Yeah.
And if you think, oh no, hang on a minute, what? That's no.
Okay, so a number of years ago, on your personal email account, you might have seen messages from TSB and NatWest saying, go here, log into your account. And you know that you don't bank with those people, so you know they're false. You get the messages from the Prince of Nigeria saying that he's got £20 million that you can have. That stands out as being very obviously not right. But when there's fake Amazon emails, PayPal, I bank with Santander, at which point, I'm expecting to get some Santander emails. It's relevant. And with the noise of life and everything that goes on, you have to be super careful. So some of the solutions are software driven. You can certainly strip out a lot of this stuff using the correct systems. Some of it is awareness and process, especially in businesses.
If something's out of the ordinary, question it.
Very much so, yeah.
And that goes for whether you're a small, medium business or whether it's, you're at home.
Yeah, personal accounts, yeah, most definitely. So I've had my Hotmail account for 20-something years, and at least 60% of the email I get through is spam, 90% of it I delete, some of it I double check, and the display email address might look legitimate, but you can right click on it, you can have a look at how it's made up, and you'll look and you'll see it's completely random, and it's not legit. So question it.
I'm glad we've got you in now, because actually, do you know, on the drive into work this morning, I was thinking I'll probably do a bit of online shopping imminently for Christmas. Kids things, stocking fillers and so on. It makes you just stop and think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And do you know what? It seems to me, of course, there's financial loss involved here, but okay, so the person that presses the button probably in all kinds of merry hell with the boss when they get back. Maybe they lose their job even over it.
Yeah, very much so.
But also individuals. I know individuals who've been scammed and have, by the skin of their teeth, it's not gone the way that the scammer wanted, but it leaves that person leaving vulnerable, feeling stupid, embarrassed. Intelligent, bright, world savvy people are being conned by this.
That's it. So when quite a lot of cases now, when a new member of staff is starting at a business, they have an induction process, and people are now building in the awareness of these things into their staff induction process, so everyone gets to a certain level, and then obviously you can then take that back to your own personal life and your own kind of ways of working in online shopping.
It's like the Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. It's a scary place, which is why the awareness is great, and it's great to be here to talk about it.
Andy, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Can we talk more about this, maybe about protecting ourselves over Christmas? That would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Do that. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
It's just coming up towards 10:30. To bring the headlines in a minute or two. This is Blondie first.